Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Premier Investments and Wealth Management Financial Program. My name's Doug Wagner. I'm your host. Before I introduce the three gentlemen in the room with me, I would like for you to maybe grab your phone. Maybe you're listening in the iHeartRadio app. Maybe you've got your tablet or your laptop with you. Maybe you're still sitting at your desktop. Heck, if you're on your Commodore 64, maybe you can't do this. But otherwise, open up your browser, go to premieriwm.com. Do you know what it's going to take for you to retire? Most Americans don't. But you, my friend, can find out because you're listening to the Premier Investments and Wealth Management Financial Program. PremierIWM.com. Click Get Started. Answer a few questions. They'll provide you with a one-page Premier Vision document and a free, no-obligation meeting with them to go over it. From that point, you can take that one-page document with you, and then you can consider whether you're going to work with them or not. I think you're going to want to because you're going to find out, are you going to be able to be able to retire, when you want to retire, how you want to retire? Maybe you want your kids' education to be taken care of. Maybe you've got a dream purchase in the future. PremierIWM.com is the website. Click Get Started. Get that one-page Premier Vision document. You can make the appointment online at PremierIWM.com as well as calling 800-383-6590. Premier Investments and Wealth Management named to Forbes 2025 Best in State Wealth Management Teams. I want to introduce wealth advisor with over 30 years of experience in the investment industry, Jonas Everett. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Doug. Good to see you.
Chris McNeil is a regional vice president in the Dallas-Fort Worth branch for Premier Investments and Wealth Management. He's a wealth advisor, certified fund specialist, over 16 years of experience in the investment industry, and he earned the 5-star Professional Wealth Management Award. He did not win it. He earned it. He earned it. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, sir. Finally, he's an accredited investment fiduciary, the president and wealth advisor at Premier Investments and Wealth Management, over 22 years of experience in the investment industry. He is the big kahuna, Roger Abel.
How's it going, Doug?
Good. How are you?
Posing for pictures, posing for the camera, waiting for you.
I
was
saw
coming
this,
right through
and
it.
it's like, maybe we're supposed to freeze right there. That was good.
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm
good
doing
stuff.
awesome.
Good.
This is fun. I always look forward to doing these programs because I learn so much from you guys. And it doesn't matter whether it's in the micro level or a macro level because the information you pull in is phenomenal, but then just the little tidbits you go through as well. It is completely awesome. So thanks for allowing me to work with you on this. Chris, one of the things that we've talked about is you've earned that 5-star Professional Wealth Management Award. You didn't win it, you earned it. And part of the reason you do is because you have the ability to sit with folks like everybody else does and to answer questions like Kim's. My husband and I have been married for over 20 years, and for as long as I can remember, he's handled all the money, paid all the bills, managed the investments, filed the taxes, the whole deal. I've always trusted him and still do, but lately I've started to worry, what if he got hit by a bus? What if something happened? I wouldn't know where to start, don't know what accounts we have, where our documents are, how much we save for retirement. Kim says, I'm embarrassed admitting it, but I want to change that. How can I get more involved without stepping on his toes or feeling overwhelmed? You've got a number of different things here. You've got the interpersonal relationship between Kim and her husband.
Right.
You've got the shame that she feels. And also this thing of, I feel like I'm sinking in a sea of information.
Yeah, I mean, Kim's not alone. I think that's, in most households, the dynamic that most couples experience is that, you know, the husband is managing the assets and the wife has got the harder job when it comes to running the house, you know, and you know, helping with the kids and things of that nature. The challenge in that is that who's going to live longer statistically? It's going to be the wife.
Yeah.
And there's, you know, we've brought on multiple clients where it's been a widow where her significant other has passed away in this exact scenario. She doesn't know where half the money's at, doesn't know the life insurance policies, doesn't know the assets, doesn't essentially know where to pay the bills. So I think this is a very delicate conversation to have, but I think it's one that's warranted and needs to be had, and the earlier the better, regardless of your age, whether you've been married for 20 years or 40 years or 5 years. I think that's an opportunity where the next time the individual that manages the assets and works and has those normal conversations with the financial advisor or the wealth manager, that the next time that individual goes in to meet with them, that they say, hey, I'd like to go in and just be a fly on the wall and listen and be able to ask questions. Because the questions that individual, or in this case, Kim, has are important questions because they're important to her. That matters.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, us as financial planners and advisors want to make sure that we have the relationship with both of them so that doesn't happen, that she's calling us and saying, hey, my husband died. I don't know where any of the assets are.
Which gets me to my point with you real quick, is that I know you've told the story before. You've had somebody come in and they wanted to sit down with you and talk about say, okay, let's bring your spouse in. And they said, my spouse doesn't have anything to do with them, so they don't need to be involved. You say,
Doug, we're always finishing each other's sentences.
You
That's exactly what I
complete me,
wrote
Jonas.
You wrote it right here.
I wrote it right here before he said that. That is really weird. Super successful pharmacist, super successful saver. Had a great first meeting with just him, and he was ready to go with everything. And I said, before we wrap this up, let's call Barb. And we called Barb on the conference phone, and she was on board with coming in too, because it's just as important. And plugging in that financial plan is a waste of time. We call them one-legged meetings, right, Chris?
Yeah, 100%.
Where somebody comes in and they're like, "Oh, I've done a great job. I've done this and this," and I'm like, "Where's Barb? Where's Becky?" This is just a waste of everybody's time if the spouse isn't here. And sometimes, Roger, you have the females that handle the finances.
Yeah, it could be both ways. And here's what I would tell you. I actually think of my most successful customers, and it usually is a situation where one person in that house, whether it's male or female, here's what I have done for my family and I've tried to do for other families that operate this way. They have to have a reference guide as to what to do if something bad happens. In my house, this is from when I started at Life Investors, doing insurance 20 some years ago. I have the Personal Financial Organizer, PFO. It's the same blue Life Investors book.
It's the blue book.
I haven't changed. It's the blue book. And what it is all of the insurance policies, the annual investment statements. It's all the estate planning documents, the car insurance, all of the stuff that, hey, if something happens to me, here's the blue book.
Yeah.
There are directions as to who she needs to call in there, and they'll help guide you. So she doesn't have to be involved, but she has to know
Where to go.
where to go and how to execute if something bad happens. And I've lined up so all the people are put in place to guide her. And that's what'll make people really successful. You don't have to be a driver if you don't want to be involved. Make sure you're okay. See your financial plan. And then make sure you know how to access all of the information.
Yeah. And it's not complicated. One of the nice things about this is that professionals, you can help them do this and put it together because the book is written. You're just putting in everything in every single chapter. Something interesting about this, Chris, for me, is when you take a look at something like this, whether it's down in Texas with ranches or farms or in Iowa with farms, you a lot of times have women who actually run the business they run the numbers and the books portion of the farms, okay? And the men are the ones that go out and they do the daily, they're the COO, the Chief Operations Officer. So a lot of cases, they understand finance and financial stuff, but it just takes that sort of little nudge to flip them into let's talk about your future finances. And that's why you encourage people, schedule joint check-ins with the people that you have as your clients as a wealth advisor.
Yeah, and I'll even go one further on that. It's certainly important for both of the individuals in the relationship, to Roger's point, know that we're on track, know that we're going to have enough money, know where to go to locate all of those documents. The other aspect, though, is what happens when both of them pass away, or let's say, God forbid, both of them get into a car accident at the same time.
Yeah.
The executor of their estate or the trustee may not have any idea where any of these assets are or what the plan is. So we always recommend, in addition to having both of the individuals there for the meeting, maybe every 2 or 3 years, if they're comfortable with it, bring the executor or the trustee of their estate in so that they're on the same page and have a general idea of what their goals and objectives were and what their plan is to transfer the money.
Right. Final thing before we move on to something else is make sure that your beneficiaries are updated frequently. I mean, wherever you can. It's critical.
I'll point one thing out, and it goes back to the benefit of the financial plan. And one thing that it does, it organizes where everything is. We take an inventory of every account, every account number, who the attorney is. It's literally an organizer for some people. So if you don't have a blue book, but you did a financial plan, right, and you guys passed away and beneficiaries called us, we know who your attorney is. We know who the CPA is. We know where your IRAs are, where you bank. You have an inventory of everything. So you're creating one when you do a financial plan, whether you kind of know it or not.
Right? It's so easy. I mean, how much more simple can it be than that? PremierIWM.com. Maybe a little bit simpler. Just when you get to PremierIWM.com, click on Get Started, answer a few questions. You'll get a 1-page Premier Vision document that will help you understand if you're ready for retirement. It doesn't matter if you're 32 or 52. You can still prepare for retirement from scratch. Why would you do it on your own when you have the professionals at Premier Investments and Wealth Management to walk alongside you and do that? PremierIWM.com. What they'll do is they'll schedule an appointment with you and they'll hand over that document and go over that 1-page document with you free of charge. And you can decide when you want to start working with them. PremierIWM.com, or you can call if your appointment 800-383, and I lost my page that has that on there. 383-6590. There we go, 800-383-6590. Remainder of the program, we're answering questions from listeners and viewers.
You don't have that number
15
memorized?
years of doing this? You
No.
know,
Like, come on, man. Like, you don't say that number in your
There are so
sleep?
many numbers. I can tell you my phone number growing up, and I can tell you my 15 friends' phone numbers, but I can't tell you that one. So I need to do better at that one.
That's not on you. That's on us. That means we're doing a poor job on our part. I mean,
after 750
it's not
episodes,
you, it's
I
us.
expect a little bit more.
you changed the website name on me. You see me go,
It's all right. We'll give you a break. We all get a mistake a year.
Mike asks a question. He says, I'm 61. I'm going to be retiring from the fire department. The pension that should cover most of our basic expenses. My wife's 58. She works part-time, no retirement benefits, but she's got a small IRA. We've always shared everything, but now that I have a guaranteed income and she doesn't, I'm wondering if we need to structure our retirement income differently in case something happens to me. And once again, here we go. Financial plan that's got to involve both people. Jonas.
Mike, you've already made a plan. We just don't know if that's the correct plan for your family and your household. If you're receiving your pension right now, that's a lifetime income. You've already made a plan.
An irrevocable decision.
Yeah, an irrevocable decision. We need to determine if that plan is right for your wife and your family.
This is what Elias would say. That's an outcome.
It's
Whether it's optimal, I don't know. And that is one of the problems when you try to go about this by yourself. Like that's an irrevocable decision.
Yeah, he's got time. He's not there yet.
Oh, he has a claim?
Yeah, no, he says
I will be retiring with the pension.
Right.
Okay, so we jumped the gun.
Yeah,
okay.
I was about to say, I was like,
fine.
Jonas, where's Jonas going?
You're okay,
like,
Mike.
we haven't
You're
made a
okay.
plan yet.
We're
still
just
good.
trying to scare you,
Don't
Mike.
jump,
Better
Mike.
give us
But good point, because I think the natural inclination for most individuals that are receiving that pension that aren't doing the research and the due diligence is that, yeah, we're going to take the life-only payout because it's the higher payout on a monthly basis and not taking into consideration, well, the joint life 100% payout, because there's multiple joint life options that you can look at, but the joint life full payout might only be $100 less a month, but now you're covering both lifetimes versus just your lifetime.
Okay.
So there's a lot that goes into looking at that.
Actuarial tables, and this is one of the nice things about this, Jonas, is that you actually sit down with individuals, you talk to them about their family, their health history, their family health history, so you can get a read and just exactly, nobody's birth certificate has an expiration date on it, so you don't know when you're going to die. But you use that as part of what you plug the numbers into the computer formula in order to put together a financial plan.
The financial plan is what we call a probability of success rate, and it's kind of like a report card.
Okay.
And we're able to tell people which survivor benefit that we favor just based on the math, seeing if the math pencils out for that household, the different sources of income, the level of debt, the life expectancy, the beneficiaries. That's all in the financial plan. But ultimately, it is in the computer, but it's just basically seeing if the math pencils out on paper.
Roger, I want to ask you a question a little bit because we know there's a couple of things in here. Number one, the wife works part-time. Number two, she's 58, he's 61. She's going to outlive him more than likely statistically. Is there a deficiency that needs to be made up for because she may be earning less than him and is going to outlive him?
Depends. I mean, it does. Like, we don't know how much they spend. We don't know what their lifestyle is. It's all questions, like Jonas said, can be answered. And it's not answered by Jonas because Jonas feels some way. He's quantified it with mathematics and interpret the data and deliver the information to an individual. And really the only way to answer this question is to sit down and do what Jonas just said. Make sure it pencils out based upon what you're spending. It's going to help them guide not just this pension decision, but they each have two other pension decisions to decide on. It's called Social Security.
Okay.
That factors into this too.
And in some cases, with him being a first responder, he may have not been contributing to Social Security. Like there's some municipalities, and depends on the state, that as a first responder, you're not contributing to Social Security. So that may be a situation where that's one less guaranteed income source that they're going to be able to depend on if he passes away.
Does Texas have government offset?
Yeah.
They do. So Iowa doesn't. Iowa, if you get a pension, you get Social Security too. So Texas.
Well, no, so you'll get it, the Social Security, but you're not paying in as much. But it's municipality based too. Okay. So that's the other thing.
Okay, it's interesting. Talk to me a little bit, Chris, if you would, about the difference in the years where you take Social Security. Where you're first able to take it, if you delay it all the way until you have to start taking Social Security, can that make a significant difference in the amount that you get paid out on a monthly basis if you are the individual who's getting it, such as if he's, say, for example, he is able to get Social Security, and what does it mean for that wife in survivor benefits if you delay that?
Yeah, I mean that's another fully loaded question too. So it depends, right?
Here we go.
So you're allowed to take Social Security at 62. There are some people out there that say, look, as soon as I'm eligible to take it, I'm going to take it because I've been paying into it for the last 30, 40 plus years. What people don't realize is that for every year that you wait to take Social Security, starting at age 62 through age 70, that income base or that monthly income increases by 8% every year, guaranteed, plus inflation.
Okay.
So for us to match that, or for an investor to match that increase on an annual basis, what do they have to do in the market year in and year out? Well, it depends on what tax bracket you're in, but that could be as high as 10 to 12% per year just to match what you're getting as a guarantee. Now, there's circumstances where if the individual has been diagnosed with a terminal illness, then maybe we take that Social Security benefit earlier than later to offset some of the expenses that family's going to have. But in most cases, ideally, you want to wait till full retirement age, which could be 66 or 67, depending on when you're born. And then there's what's called the hybrid approach. So if you were the wage earner of the family and your Social Security benefit is going to be significantly higher than your significant others, then it may make sense for you to wait till age 70 for you to trigger your Social Security benefit, because if you pass away before your spouse in most cases is going to be able to take a higher monthly survivor benefit when you pass.
Jonas, we got about 5 minutes left. You were scratching something down over there. You had a thought in the middle of what Chris was talking about.
Yeah, exactly what Chris was talking about. Plan for the worst and hope for the best. That's what a financial plan does. You're looking at the different scenarios: living too long, early death, inflation that's out of control. All of that's on the financial plan, and that's where you come up with your report card to see if you've saved enough money or you have the different sources of income and you've done a great job managing your debt. And, ultimately, the first meeting, I would say this, Roger, probably the tough part is just having people bring in all their stuff on the fact-finding meeting. That's the tough part.
That's the hard work for the individuals, gathering it, doing the open-ended questions, and just getting prepared. I mean, that takes effort.
By the way, the first conversation you have them is just like, don't bring in a check, don't bring in anything. You just want to sit down, talk, get to know you, and have that sort of work with each other, feel each other out at that point. And so that next part is that fact-finding as you start taking that step down. We've got a few minutes left in the program. I had a couple of odd questions for you just because I'm curious. What is the age of the youngest client that you have who is a majority who is working and putting money away?
The youngest client I have? So they have to be at least 18?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, mine's 18.
18?
Yeah.
18?
17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What is the average age when people actually step into the office and say, you know what, I need to get serious about this?
40.
40? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say 40, 45.
Okay. Pretty much agree with that.
They're really panicking if they're 50 plus.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people, we've talked about it before.
Mhm.
When you're 25, you're like, man, I got 40 years, no big deal. When you hit 40,
Mhm.
it gets kind of real. When you hit 45, it's really real.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, wait, I've already worked 20 plus years.
You're on the backside of your professional career.
I've only got 20 years left. But here's the other thing that happens at 45, because it happened for me too. I actually just got goosebumps because it does. You're like, whoa, man, maybe there's 20 years left. But life is getting easier typically. You got kids that are a little older. You're making a really good wage maybe. I mean, if you think about your peak earning years, it's like 50, 53.
Yeah.
So there's this anticipation. Now you get a little extra money. You're kind of excited about it.
Mhm.
And if you're behind, you still feel like you have hope at 40 and 45.
Mhm.
If you hit 55 and haven't done anything, you're in trouble. It can be done. I have stories of it being done. But I would say people are getting really serious at 40. And it's because it gets more real. 40 years, we don't have, we like to say we have a 40-year vision. Most people don't have a 40-year vision.
And one of my customers that retired this year, he said that your financial plan's great and everything, but that's not why I really like you. And I'm like, oh, why do you like me? And he said,
I want to know this question
You're
too.
the first person that let me know that I'm doing 3 times better than my peers. My peer group.
Yeah.
At age 62,
Yeah.
locally, he had no idea.
Yeah.
That's not something that he talked to his golf buddies about.
Right.
I mean, you don't share net worth statements at Starbucks with he thought he was behind the 8 ball until he did a financial plan.
Right.
And that made him feel a lot better about his situation.
A lot of people are a lot better off than they think they are. They've just never sat down with anybody to figure it out. We have a customer who came in and she's 48 now, came in at like 45.
Right.
And it's a friend of ours. And she was really nervous. She came in, I'm like, you're actually doing really good.
Yeah.
But people see these big numbers and you're 45. You haven't had a chance to get to a really big number yet.
Well, you and Elias met with that client, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, did the financial plan. They thought they were going to have to work another 2 or 3 years. And based on the plan, you said, well, you can work another 2 or 3 years, but only if you want to. You could retire now.
Yeah.
And then like 2 months later.
That was Elias's customer.
Was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He
he's
said,
like, I'm
"No,
going to
we're
go.
retiring."
He called them he's like, I'm just going to verify and go get my 2 weeks today, right? He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, go for it. So he walked in, resignation paper, and then 3 more people after him did the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to go see Elias. He's going to tell you can retire.
That's great.
But what it did, to your point, it gave them confidence. That's what this does. It gives you confidence. Even if it's bad, you're going to be more confident in what you need to do to get to where you want to go. We do a couple things for people. We tell you if you're on track. If you're not on track, we're going to help you
do what we can to get you back on track.
Right.
and give you more financial confidence. That's what this is all about.
Don't be afraid. Get in touch with the professionals at Premier Investments and Wealth Management. PremierIWM.com. Click Get Started. You'll get your 1-page Premier Vision document and a free no-obligation consultation. Make your appointment today, or you can do it by calling 800-383-6590. For Chris McNeil, Jonas Everett, and Roger Abel, my name's Doug Wagner. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you again soon.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. The opinions voiced in this show are for general information purposes only. and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, and financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Premier Investments in Wealth Management and LPL Financial do not provide specific, individualized tax or legal advice. We suggest that you discuss your specific situation with a qualified tax or legal advisor. Economic forecasts set forth may not develop as predicted, and there can be no guarantee that strategies promoted will be successful. All performance referenced is historical and is not a guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and cannot be invested into directly. There is no assurance that the techniques and strategies discussed are suitable for all investors or will yield positive outcomes. The purchase of certain securities may be required to affect some of the strategies. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of principal. There is no guarantee that a diversified portfolio will enhance overall returns or outperform a non-diversified portfolio. Diversification does not protect against market risk. Forbes' Best in State Wealth Management Team's ranking was developed by Shook Research and is based on in-person, virtual, and telephone due diligence meetings and a ranking algorithm that includes a measure of each team's best practices, client retention, industry experience, review of compliance records, firm nominations, and quantitative criteria, including assets under management and revenue generated for their firms. Investment performance is not a criterion because client objectives and risk tolerances vary, and advisors rarely have audited performance reports. Shook's research and rankings provide opinions intended to help investors choose the right financial advisor and team, and are not indicative of future performance or representative of any one client's experience. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Neither Forbes nor Shook Research receive compensation in exchange for placement on the ranking. For more information, please see www.shookresearch.com. Shook is a registered trademark of Shook Research, LLC. The 5-Star Professional Award was issued on July 1st, 2025 by 5-Star Professional for the time period October 9th, 2024 through May 1st, 2025. Fee paid for use of marketing materials. Self-completed questionnaire was used for rating. This rating is not related to the quality of the investment advice and based solely on the disclosed criteria. 4,005 Dallas-Fort Worth area wealth managers were considered for the award. 315, 7% of candidates, were named 2025 5-Star Wealth Managers. Wealth managers do not pay a fee to be considered or placed on the final list of 5-Star Wealth Managers. The award is based on 10 objective criteria. Eligibility criteria required. 1. Credentialed as a registered investment advisor or a registered investment advisor representative. 2. Actively licensed as an RIA or as a principal of a registered investment advisor firm for a minimum of 5 years. 3. Favorable regulatory and complaint history review. As defined by FSP, the wealth manager has not been subject to a regulatory action that resulted in a license being suspended or revoked or payment of a fine, had more than a total of 3 settled or pending complaints filed against them, and or a total of 5 settled, pending, dismissed, or denied complaints with any regulatory authority or FSP's consumer complaint process. Unfavorable feedback may have been discovered through a check of complaints registered with a regulatory authority or complaints registered through FSP's consumer complaint process. Feedback may not be representative of any one client's experience, individually contributed to a financial settlement of a customer complaint, filed for personal bankruptcy within the past 11 years, been terminated from a financial services firm within the past 11 years, or been convicted of a felony. 4. Fulfilled their firm review based on internal standards. 5. Accepting new clients. Evaluation criteria considered. 6. 1-year client retention rate. 7. 5-year client retention rate. 8. Non-institutional discretionary and or non-discretionary client assets administered. 9. Number of client households served. 10. Education and professional designations. FSP does not evaluate quality of services provided to clients. The award is not indicative of the wealth manager's future performance. Wealth managers may or may not use discretion in their practice, and therefore may not manage their clients' assets. The inclusion of a wealth manager on the 5-Star Wealth Manager list should not be construed as an endorsement of the wealth manager by FSP or this publication. Working with a 5-Star wealth manager or any wealth manager is no guarantee as to future investment success, nor is there any guarantee that the selected wealth managers will be awarded this accomplishment by FSP in the future. Visit 5starprofessional.com